What's going on, guys? This is Strongarm Zed, and tonight I had the great opportunity to play with It's Archie time in Rocket League, and rather than just edit together all the little gameplay footage of goal scoring and whatnot, we were actually having a pretty interesting conversation about the psychology involved in relationships, particularly about operant and classical conditioning, which most people have heard about conditioning in some regard, but might not fully understand exactly what it is. It's basically where you're exposed to a situation or you have some kind of action done to you, and what it does is you end up associating a specific thing with the reward or punishment that was given at the time. For example, if you end up going and you're at a talent show and you get booed during your talent show, your public speaking, you might then associate all public speaking with the negative appraisal that was given for that one particular time. And that can often carry with people for their entire lifetime. So rather than go on too much about what the details are in it, if you would like to find out more, I could certainly make a video about operant and classical conditioning. But otherwise, I will let the video and the footage that you're going to see kind of explain itself, where we got talking about one of Archie's past experiences and past relationships, and it turned out pretty interesting. So hopefully you can learn a thing or two about this, and also there were goal scoring involved in the background if that's your interest. So thank you, and here we go.
So what are your thoughts on ways to, because it feels like really uncomfortable. It's like the same feeling when you're embarrassed. Well, you probably don't get embarrassed, but
oh no, that's not true. I definitely have moments.
It's like that really uncomfortable pit in your stomach that makes you just want to rip out your guts.
Yeah.
Because you want to stop right now because it's really uncomfortable.
Exposure. Honestly, that's the best thing.
I figured just doing more videos, making myself sing more, and just be goofy and just be me and not allow it to stop me, because eventually it'll get less uncomfortable.
Well,
I think
the thing is, you learn ways, or you learn things through, not, this isn't the only way of learning, but one of the primary ways that you learn is through reward and punishment. If you're used to something being associated with punishment, then it needs, the way to break that is for you to do the thing that you would associate with punishment and realize that you're not going to be punished, or you're not going to have a negative effect for doing that. Do you get what I mean?
Make it habitual so that you end up not having that same feeling.
Right. Because well, habitual isn't necessarily the word. Basically what it is there's two primary types of conditioning. There's operant conditioning and classical conditioning. And operant conditioning is where this kind of falls into, where you have a situation where you have a stimulus, in this case saying a public, I'm trying to think of the way to phrase it to where it fits, like
exposure?
Not necessarily exposure, but like situations where the public is involved, or situations where you would otherwise have been told, you know, don't do something, you're going to make, or you're chastised, you're just essentially punished verbally by your parents, or whatever it is.
It's more like a psychological thing, though. It's not like on purpose. There's a threat of psychological retribution for behaving a certain way.
Well, psychological like punishment is usually much more. Fuck! This guy just hit it back towards the net.
Yeah, he's shitty.
Sorry, I'm not explaining this well because I'm trying to play the game. But anyway, when you have a psychological psychological.
Fuck, I apparently missed it.
It doesn't have to be physical punishment, is my point. I can't think of how else to explain it.
It's a lot harder to break the psychological, because if it was physical and you don't see anybody nearby, you know what I mean? Like, if the person that used to physically beat you for something isn't there to physically beat you for it, it's probably a lot easier to do whatever it is.
Not necessarily, because it's the same mechanisms. Really, honestly, it's the same exact mechanisms. I thought that wasn't going to go in.
Nice score.
Thanks. It's the same psychologically speaking, it's the same mechanism. So that's the kind of the point that I was trying to get with it, where even if it's psychological, it's still going to have the same effect as if somebody was beating you, where you associate pain with something.
Yeah.
So in order to break that, what you have to do is essentially expose yourself to it and realize that there's no longer any kind of pain or any kind of punishment that comes with it. And in doing so, it teaches your mind that it's an okay thing to do.
Yeah. Okay, so just do what I'm doing, basically.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, just keep doing it, because exposure is only going to help you. Exposure to whatever you're uncomfortable with is actually only going to help you. It's there's no negatives that could, well, there's momentary negatives that can come from it, but there's no permanent lasting effects. The benefits are going to far outweigh any kind of negatives that are going to ever happen with it.
Because I have thin skin, like, the smallest things can make me feel like shit.
Right, and that's what often happens too, is where you get used to say negative criticism or negative comments, and anything then gets the same emotional effect as something severe.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I can't not...
Damn it, I couldn't get over there. So yeah, exposure. That's, I mean, that's one of the theories of treatment. It's certainly not the only kind of treatment that can occur with that. But think about it like this. I'm trying to think of a good example. So let's say you're listening to a song on the radio and you get into a car accident. You might all of a sudden
associated,
right, after that you develop not necessarily a stigma, but you develop a issue with that particular song where every time you listen to it you're nervous.
Yeah.
And
it's like a cringe response.
Yeah, and the only way to stop that essentially is to keep listening to the song and realize that, hey, you're not going to get into a car accident for listening.
Every time you hear the song.
Yeah, where you can have the same effects happen, not necessarily like physical. Car accident is pretty physical, but you can have the same thing where you have a relationship and a song can trigger something the same way, where if you have a love song, oh shit, I missed that. If you have a love song and you break up with that person, that song then therefore is associated with that person. No!
I missed. Oh.
There is nothing I can do to stop that. I'm trying to think how to say this without using big words.
I like big words. So yeah, I basically every time I drove like home from somewhere, so that I didn't have any interactions with anybody else, I constantly listened to only Sugar Ray, because I love Sugar Ray and it's some of my favorite songs by them, and I did not want it to basically be a scar.
Right.
And so I'm almost to the point where I don't think about her in a hateful manner when I hear a Sugar Ray song.
Just every other time.
Consequently, I have to try to start to get used to communicating with females.
I have to get used to communicating with females.
Yes, exactly. Does not compute. I started practicing today. There's a girl at the front desk at the gym that has seen me go there for the past probably year at this point.
Yeah.
And she just broke up with her boyfriend.
Nice.
Not that I think she'd be into me, but it's still good practice to know that she's available and that I'm still talking to her and being, confident.
Well, I hate to say this. I'm trying to think how to say this without sounding like a douchebag, but...
that females at the gym are not going to be into fat guys ever?
No, see, there you go with that negative shit. I wasn't going to say anything like that.
Oh, well, I was trying to think of what you could be thinking.
Well, don't.
Get out of my head! Archie, what is wrong with you?
What was I about to say now? Oh, okay. You should be talking to everybody the same way. It doesn't matter if they're with somebody or not. Being a confident person is still being a confident person. You're not hitting on somebody. You're just talking confidently.
Well, I was being flirtatious, and I didn't start being flirtatious unless they were available.
See, even then, like, being, not necessarily even being flirtatious, but just being confident can come across as being flirtatious. That's why I'm saying you should talk to everybody the same way.
I was trying to be, like, purposefully flirtatious.
Yeah, I wouldn't, honestly, because if you try to be flirtatious, then it's going to come across as though you're trying to be flirtatious. Whereas if you just talk to everybody the same way and you're just confident with everybody, somebody that you're attracted to, that's going to come across anyway, where you're attracted to them and you don't have to try. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's kind of how it was with, actually both. I was just confident and everything, you know, I knew what I was talking about. You know, I didn't even think of it as hitting on them because I was acting like I am the shit.
Alright, so there we have it. I think it turned out to be pretty interesting and a pretty good conversation. The gameplay was also pretty damn fun, even though the video wasn't too much focused on that. I thought it turned out great. So if you would like to see more along this same vein, more psychology talks, maybe just more conversations in general, then go ahead and leave a comment about what it is that you would like to see, and I can definitely make that happen. But otherwise, thank you very much for watching, and if you would like to become a member of the Zedite tribe, then go ahead and flex your muscle and hit that subscribe button. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and have a great day. Fuck. I couldn't see, all I saw was your ass.
Sorry. It's a nice ass, though.